Yep, do your thing.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Your Ass Hurts News Network. Your host here, Sergeant Friday, with a guest tonight, the man, Dago.
What up?
Who's obviously not quick on the trigger and wouldn't have survived in the fucking wild, wild west, apparently, when it comes to pulling that trigger. Dago?
No comment.
He'd be riddled with holes, this poor bastard.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
I had my hand on the mouse. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like, have you ever seen that the ballet of, who's that dude in the white outfit there? Buster something.
Buster Poindexter?
No. There's a stream put together. It's not a stream. It's a YouTube story of gunslinger in white. Buster Scruggs. Buster Scruggs. You've never seen that?
No, but I've heard about it. I've heard the name before.
It's awesome. Anyway, yeah, here we are in New York State. It's Monday. I think it's the 16th of June, and we're still looking around for the weather we call summer.
Yeah. Where's that at? I ain't seen that.
Took a left at Albuquerque. That Bugs Bunny's got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like, well, shit. Let me look real quick because it's been chilly on and off all day, and nothing but like fall weather lately. It's crazy.
Really?
It's 78 today now, but it took all day to get to that. So
yeah, it took. Yeah, here too. Well, let's see. Who do we got? Anybody in the chat room of any note? We got Tippy Harden Colite. No, what the hell the fuck that name is?
Miss Tippy. She's always in my community. Good to see you.
Skylar Banks is there.
Hey.
One here. I don't see many. We got.
I let everybody know they'll be on their way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hold on. Yes, we're somewhere on the East Coast. Gracefully salty. Yeah, we have a few.
Where is
Moonlit Baby loves the cool weather. Well, I love swimming, Moonlit Baby, and you know you're like, I don't even know. You're edging in on my time here.
It ain't warm enough to get in the damn pool yet. The pool's like, I think my granddaughter dumped in there yesterday, and she was in there for about 30 seconds and got right back out. It ain't warm yet.
Man,
I've been using that solar cover, thinking that's going to help it. No, it's just not.
Yeah, I just put a new solar color in, new liner, I had to repair. There were a couple of rust holes on the bottom. I had to repair that.
Mm-hmm.
New big mouth skim head, a new return line. So I had to go through everything. But
we changed out. Right, we changed out
the pool. Go ahead.
Oh, then you're not doing bad. We changed out the intake hose because it dry rotted. We changed the output hose last year because that dry rotted. We put a new filter head in, and we're looking at changing it out to a sand filter, which I've heard is good.
It is definitely good. It's most economically viable, and it lasts longer than these cartridge filters and other things are just.
Yeah, they're garbage.
I mean, they plug up and they just, man, it's too much maintenance.
You got to pull them out, spray them out every damn day, and you got to do this and do that. And it's
you hit backwash on a sand filter, bro, and it takes all the shit and dirt out of the fucking, and on you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's it. And then you vacuum up the leaves and stuff that fall out of the trees and do your thing, and you're good to go. So that's our next investment is that to go. I mean, we're running the same filter right now, and she's just tired. She's like, I want to get the sand filter.
Breaking news.
Who's
Lucy Morningstar? That's not Biff, is it? No, that would be Heather. Who the hell's Lucy Morningstar? And then we got Seahawks fan. What up, Alicia? Moonlit Baby likes cold showers. God only knows why. We're not going to ask more about it, Dago. No, I saw the name Lucy, and I don't know why. It brought up thoughts of someone we know.
Hey, Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Let's see here if my rumble's up and going.
Who we got? That Miss Tandy's in the house, Seahawks fan. Alicia J. The Meatballs is in the house, Sarge. They came over to support you.
Let's see here. I don't answer questions, says Lucy. Wow.
Lucy
don't ask and don't answer. That's a good policy. So anyway, we got an interesting little conflagrance of info for tonight. I want to go over a few things and remind people that Steve Gonzalez has lied to us multiple fucking times, and thankfully he's kept his mouth shut ever since Judge Hippler had a hissy fit over people leaking information. What do you think,
Well, I think that was part of one of the hearings was to tell Steve to shut the F up because he was doing too much talking. That's my opinion.
They should change that. Instead of saying shut the fuck up, they should say refer to Sergeant Friday. And I'll tell you to shut the fuck up.
Shut the Friday, yeah. There you go.
So I'm glad he's being quiet. Did his Facebook page ever come back up?
I haven't even looked, Sarge. I have no idea.
Did all these filthy conclusionist guilters decide why it was taken down and ignore the fact the court had a hearing where they had a discussion with Mr. Gonzalez and friends?
I'm gonna have to say that he's the leaker. He is the leaker. He gets his information from somewhere, but he's got to be the leaker, in my opinion.
But he's leaking fake information.
That's what I mean. I don't know whoever's giving it to him or whatever he's creating, but he's been the leaker from the beginning. I think.
To all those people talking about transfer DNA, wait till you see there's way more than that. Wait till you guys find out. Steve. Yep, and you're licking the ass crack of somebody you shouldn't be licking.
I don't know what's going on there, but that's a no.
I unblocked you, Teresa. So I don't know why.
Oh, that's Miss Teresa in our channel. I know.
I unblocked you, Teresa.
Yeah, you could probably go in under your name, Teresa, and try it that way, hun. Now see if it works.
Yeah, I definitely unblocked. So Steve was shut up. He's maintained radio silence, which is good. He's got his mouthpiece though. The drunk turkey, the fat bastard, the ignorant. There's a guy that suffers from levels of stupidity that just isn't repairable. Ignorance is repairable, but stupidity, you can't even fix that with duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's way off in the fucking woods.
Did you see?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna. You go ahead and finish what you were saying. Then I got something I think you'll enjoy.
I was gonna say he's way off in the woods with shit that doesn't even. He's got no. He makes shit up and acts like it's fact because he read it in a paper. That's always. Yeah, I read it in a paper somewhere. Well, maybe it's the paper you're wiping your fat ass with. You stupid fuck. Stop reading your shit paper and pay attention to real details. Dago.
Amen. Did you see the video I did this morning? And at the end of it, what I put out, there's a friend of Brian's that came forward that has known him for years, that lives out where he lives, where he's from, that basically came out and told all the guilters to shut the F up. And he called them out, all of them, and said it was kind of awesome to see that somebody finally stepped up and said something positive about it.
Where'd you find that?
It was sent to me. That Teresa, she sent it to me initially, and it's all over stuff now. And I have it if you want to see it. If you didn't see it,
yeah, we will. Hang on 1 second, though. We'll Daniel made it as law enforcement because Daniel is a programmable fucking idiot that has about like 3 kilobytes of memory. That dude is exactly why law enforcement is fucked up. He is like those other guys that I went after, them cops that have a stream. Yeah. Just empty-headed fucking twits that want to be accepted, and they fall into positions they shouldn't be, and they don't realize the reason they're being accepted is because they're fucking controllable and directable. No independent fucking thought at all. And if it is any fucking inkling that there's an independent thought in their mind, it's always independently controlled by others directing what it does.
Right.
It's just sad. These people are, and there's millions of Americans like this. They hear it on TV, and that's a fact, and they'll argue until they're dead. It's like Jeff and the other guy that run around with him, and 12 Gauge and all, and the Detective Johns, and he's just another non-thinking fucking brain damaged individual that he should take his hat off if he's bald. I want to see that fat face with no hair. I need something to laugh at.
I wonder what he wears the glasses for. What that's all about.
He's probably cross-eyed.
I mean,
he's probably got one of them fucking cross. He's probably got a wandering eye. One looks left and one looks right.
I have no idea. I always wondered that. There's your fan from Ireland, Sarge, Miss Charlotte.
Miss Charlotte.
She was on the panel with you yesterday at my place.
Is this guy really his friend, or is he looking for attention? But you're welcome. You throw it up, or do I?
I'll pull it up for you. He's his friend. I vetted it this morning to make sure And he
good.
is.
Good.
Yeah, he is. He put 2 videos out over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you the new one. Oh, maybe
Hey, let's get him over here. How do I get a hold of him?
That's what I'm trying to do right now. Is I'm trying to get a hold of him too. If we can get him on, I think everybody's trying to get a hold of him at this point now because he's the only person that's ever stepped up and said, everybody that all these guilters. He basically said, "Stop watching the guilters; they're rotting your mind." And he's an ex-Marine, and he's raw like you are. He don't no holds barred. So
yeah, see, he should be up here with me.
mm-hmm.
We could light the world. We'll set the world on fire.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that one.
Can you play that on my stream? Can you present it, or do I have to do it?
Yeah, I can pull it up, and then I'm going to share it to you, and then you can go ahead and play it. Just let me.
How are you going to share it to me onto the StreamYard?
Yeah, I'll just present it to screen through StreamYard for you here.
All right, do your thing, Diego.
Let me show you I'll do the first one from 2 weeks ago.
You know, it says 2 parts. Yeah, Daniel is unfortunately he's an unemployable fucking twit. Lucy Morningstar. Why do I know that name?
She's always in here.
Huh?
That's Heather.
That's Heather. That's what I thought. It's Biff.
That's why I said, yeah, that was Biff.
That's fucking Biff. That's what I thought. Yikes. God bless it, Biff. You're just sneaking around with these different names. God.
That was Heather. All right.
Add the stage. All right.
There we go.
Go to bed.
I'll hear nothing.
You ready? Okay.
Yeah, and you're echoing.
We're here to talk about Idaho4. I'm here in Poconos, Pennsylvania, where I live. Everything I say on here is my opinion. It has nothing to do with any other content creators' opinions. I don't know. Their opinions are their own. I have to say that just so I don't get in trouble. But there's a lot of gaslighters and a lot of killer channels out there that are making things up. And they don't even know the guy personally. That, you know, they're blaming all this on. Now, I do. And if anyone out there, if these people knew this guy personally, Mr. Coburn or Brian, they would know there's no fucking way in hell that he did this. He's not physically or mentally capable of doing anything like this. That is total fucking bullshit. The kid doesn't have a violent bone in his body. He's very non-confrontational. Me, I'm confrontational. You know, I'm an Aries, born April 14th. And it's obvious. But these guys out here like Gray Hughes, Tony Bruschi, fucking Drunk Parrot or whatever the fuck his name is. The one victim's father, I'm not going to say his name, but we all know who I'm talking about. You know, these fucking morons are just pushing this fucking narrative. And I think a victim's father is almost being paid by the university to do this. I also think it's pretty funny how ever since the whole thing came out about the leak and Judge Hippler not being happy about it, he lawyered up right away. And we haven't heard any more bullshit from him since. He hasn't been out there on channels spouting his fucking bullshit. So I find that a little odd. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. And he went around and said this stuff like, if Brian is it does get off, how did he word it? He's going to be dealt with. Like, yeah, right, you short little fat fucker. You ain't dealing with nothing. You ain't going to do nothing. Especially with me here. You ain't going to do nothing. There are channels out there that do have an open mind and try to bring factual information out. And they actually read the court documents and they go down through and they watch the hearings they have.
What's up?
I said, this is one of those, you got that echo going on. I'll talk when he's done. How long is this video?
It's almost over.
All right.
That were publicized, and they kind of relay that out rather than just speculating or pushing a narrative like Dateline or Megyn Kelly, Skeletor. I made this little chart because if you notice, most of the dudes that are guilders, they all have kind of one thing in common, or two things really. They're short and they're fat. And it's almost like they're upset and they want to put someone in a firing squad because they're mad about it. You're probably saying, William, why are you body shaming? I'm not really. I'm just telling the truth. I'm spitting facts here. I'm over here in factual information. If you can see this, and if I missed any channels, I do apologize, because there are some really good ones out there and people that I think are doing a good job with their content. And over here in the fat and unimportant section, we got the usual suspects over here. Same guys. These fuckers putting out content. Some of these channels, like Tony here, Tony's fat ass puts out a fucking new video like every 4 hours. He also puts them out on the Karen Reed thing, saying she's guilty nonstop. Like he kind of alternates in between Karen Reed and Ryan Koberger. That guy is a fucking moron, and I don't know, he probably has a couple followers. But people who embed in this and believe the guilters, they embed in the first information they hear. And it's usually people that don't have as much common sense as some of us. And it's very difficult to convince them of the truth, even if actual factual evidence, you just really can't convince them because their mind is made up like that. It's like a conflictive bias is what it is. But take the facts from someone that actually knows. And I was also a U.S. Marine for 4 years, and I was in Afghanistan. And I did on my tour in combat in 2005 there. I know a few things about K-bars and bayonets, and I know that I wouldn't be able to go into a place and unalive 4 adults like that and not have my DNA everywhere and not suffer a black eye or like gouges from them scratching, because they fought for their life. They just didn't lay there and say, "Oh, kill me." I'm just gonna lay here and let you do it. Plus, with their DNA all over me, my car, my fucking apartment, it's impossible for that to happen. But like I said in the beginning, it's impossible that Brian Koberger did this. The kid is no killer, plain and simple. And people need to wake the fuck up and realize what's going on here. Stop following the fucking guilders. All they're doing is rotting your brain. Like me or hate me, I never said truth was going to be simple. But I'm just telling you what I know. Whether through experience or from actually knowing people personally. And it's about time someone came out and said this.
Well, there you go.
That's one of two. Second one he just made yesterday, and it's about the same.
You got a link to his channel?
I do. I'm gonna give it to you right now.
You can send it in the
Private chat.
Private comments. How the hell do I get to it?
It's right there, up there at the top. You just click on it, and it's back there already for you.
Oh, mine says show comments on stage. Where the hell do I get? There it is. I see it.
It's very top.
All right, excellent. Yeah, I mean,
go check him out.
I want to
Subscribe.
say
You
that
guys have
because-
done it too, because this about time somebody came out and finally did this. I like it.
And here's the thing. I was trying to put together some thoughts to help some people. I don't care if you think he's innocent or guilty. I think that we've been so undertrained and so undereducated in how to use our own brains that we both sides of this issue suffer from the same elements, and thinking they're thinking, or thinking they're what does they call it? What kind of thinking that people keep claiming we have? Critical. Yeah. And I hate to say this, folks, but myself included, we are not critical thinkers.
Right.
Okay. And so a critical thinker, and I try to look at this to say, Take all the names out, take all of the information out of the event, and look at the data that they're giving you. And does that data present the argument that somebody committed a crime based on the data they're giving us? And it just, none of the data adds up to a criminal act.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely does.
You know, and that's where a lot of people will then conclude he's innocent. And I say to you, no. That there's no way to know that. Just like I tell other people, there's no way to know who did it. You could spend all your life on your computer and your phone. You could guess every single name in Idaho and still get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so what is it we're really only able to do? And it's, if you're going to critically analyze something, you've got to critically analyze the data, where it comes from, and how it fits together. And if you focus on those particular issues, you do come to a view that if this guy did it, he didn't do it that way.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, he clearly didn't connect to their Wi-Fi. He clearly didn't have any electronic connection in any way, shape, or form with the victims or any contact with them all. He clearly didn't stalk any of them, per the own prosecutor's argument.
Right.
He clearly didn't leave samples of. How the fuck could this kid have cleaned everything, including the house, except for a button on a knife sheath? It's just hard to make sense that there was no wounds inflicted by the victims on the attacker, or that the attacker could have wore something so protective yet still be able to take out 4 people like that. Just think of what you'd have to wear.
Well, I think there are wounds that were inflicted on the attacker. It's just that we haven't seen the right attacker to be able to see those wounds. So there's definitely defensive wounds on that person. I will never not believe that after knowing who, especially from 2 of the victims. Kaylee and Xana, there's no way in hell that they didn't fight to the death. So,
you know, listen, like I said, I know a guy that was shot through the heart with a .357 Magnum, and honest to God, ran 2 blocks. He may have been dead when he was running, for all we know.
I've seen
before
that.
He dropped.
Adrenaline kicks in, and it'll carry you a long way.
Unless you sever the spinal cord, a fatal wound to the heart doesn't stop your body from responding. Now, it may not respond effectively, but something's going to have to happen. You may grab, scratch, tear. I just find it inconceivable that a human being could do what they claim this gentleman did, and there be no evidence of it other than some shaky videos and some allegations about his phone's location.
That's it right there.
That's all you got. And then here's another one. Don't people find it a bit fucked up that particular girl that's the DoorDash driver, how her information got released? Now, people may say someone honestly FOIA'd it or something, but why would they not have locked that down? The police department, that should have been part of the, if she's really a witness, and she may be for all we know, right? Mm-hmm. How the fuck did that video get out into the mainstream fucking area of the public?
Same way everything else has been doing it, Sarge. Think about it.
I realize that, but I guess my point is just to show that,
right?
It's why is probably a bad question. I think the just a low level of professionalism and the ignorance that's our law enforcement in that particular city.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's a fact. That's the almost inconceivable thought process that you have to understand, like how not why, but how does this continuously keep happening, and how do they allow it to keep happening? That's what my thoughts are. You know what I mean? They
want it to happen. And this is an example of propagandizing the public.
Yeah.
The public hears it 1,000 times. The guy's guilty. Evidence doesn't really matter.
Right.
They're conditioned. He's guilty. And that's the problem when you look at the backdrop of the crime and the evidence. Does the evidence denote somebody committing a criminal act? Just take the data that they're giving us.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the DNA. Forget Brian Kohlberger. Forget the 4 victims. And what you're left with is evidence of nothing. Right?
Yep.
Thanks, Chris Wood, number 87. I'm suspecting that's the the number of likes. I don't know.
We need 13 more guys to get this in the algorithm.
Yeah,
We can
give
do
me
that.
the
Come on.
algorithm. Give me the algorithm. There'll be a time if this stream gets big enough, folks, where any monetization that may become of it will be used for the people that join the stream to help produce the stream, not me.
There you go.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So if I'm getting 1,000 or 2,000, I don't know what it pays, but let's just say that becomes to the point where there's enough people viewing the stream where monetization would be silly not to take it. I promise to give that money to the people that help make the stream better. Because I don't do all this video editing. I don't do all this. Like Daga dropped a piece of research in here for me. Things like that I don't do. I would rather have people do it for me. Like today, I paid a guy $100 to move a bunch of stuff that I certainly could have done myself. I just don't want to fucking do it.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And that's, I hate to, I don't even hate to admit it. I'm proud to admit it. I can afford to be a lazy fuck, but I also have a lot of time to read and to learn and try to understand what's in front of me and share it in the simplest terms that I can with people that are willing to listen to the stream.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I'd like to get to that point myself and be able to reward my team for the things that they do and the crew that I have for doing what they do. At some point, I'm going to be doing that. So it is going to happen. I pray one day I'll be that size.
Last time I fell for a smile like that, I had to go bankrupt.
There you go, SRB.
There you go.
Good to
It
see
was
you.
released to keep the narrative going. And this is when they have to destroy you in the public domain, like they did with that guy that what's the guy in Florida that was convicted of killing his wife?
Shit.
I can't remember the name of it. You know who I mean? The husband went to jail.
Wait.
She was found in a lake or something. She was pregnant.
Oh Jesus, Sarge, you would ask me that right now.
Yeah, I know.
Where
It comes out.
Where was it at again? What state was it in?
Florida, wasn't it?
Florida.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name right now. I got so much.
Anyway, that case is under review now, anyway, or something.
Yeah. What is his name? Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson. That's it. Bam.
Thank you. You missed. Thank you, Biff.
Whatever happened to Detective John? I don't know. I think he's still digging his mom out from a grandfather clock that landed on him.
He went through some trauma in his life, and
he's pulling the second hand out of her left ear.
He backed away for a little while, I guess.
He got tangled in the chains and the fucking glass broken. Jesus Christ. Brian could have done the atrocity without leaving DNA. I said Brian was not the type of person who was not confrontational. Yeah, I imagine he could have, but it just doesn't seem likely. I mean, that's like, it's like an airplane crashes and you're in the back and you walk out. Everybody else is dead. I mean, can it happen? Sure. But the likelihood that fucking 90-pound bird sliced up and diced 4 fucking adults, I don't care if they were drunk or not. You guys, when the adrenaline floods your system and you hit flight or fight, you could be drunk or not drunk. And there's going to be some reciprocal damage you would suspect to the intruder.
I feel like, granted, he's got the ability to know certain things, but I don't feel like anybody, and I mean anybody, I don't care how fucking good you are, can do what was done and leave absolutely nothing behind. There's no way, or not take anything with him at all. I just don't see that being a possibility. There would have to be something somewhere, I think.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, I think the picture the next morning is proof positive. This kid wasn't in any kind of combat. I can't say that the kid did nothing. Right? I don't want to be called up.
We don't know. We don't know yet. Right? We don't know.
But nothing showed so far. Nothing shown is a, like, even this DoorDash driver, right? Yeah. Here's a person that's facing what? She was in possession of meth and she got a DWI?
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Okay, and how old is that video? Does anybody know when that arrest was made?
Yeah, because we reviewed it too. It's an old one.
Has it been out before and I just never saw it?
June, I think it was, you guys. Was it June of 24? I think they'll tell you for sure. They know better than I do. It's September. That's what it
September
was. I was
4th,
looking at the other one.
2024. So not quite a year
August.
ago, 10 months.
Yeah,
8
September.
months ago, right?
That's right.
10 months
9
ago,
5.
we'll call it.
9 September 5th. That's right. Thank you guys.
Well,
Um,
and wasn't Steve suggesting that there was a witness?
yeah.
Wasn't he trying to suggest that Brian Koberg was caught on camera?
Oh, that did come out. Yeah, he said it's on video somewhere, but I still don't believe that.
She's in Latah County Jail. Yeah,
No, she's not. No, she's not. We went digging for her for 3 hours earlier in the Discord. The mods and I, we can't find her anywhere. She's not in there. If she is, they have her somewhere else, and she's not listed. She's not in there right now. She's not in any county around.
I don't know how anybody can even listen to Bubbly Waters. That broad, she's she is a lunatic. She's like that Tommy Jude, even worse. Be like me taking the image of Dago right there, blowing it up 8,000 times, and then telling you that his wife is naked behind him. You see her? You see her? You see her?
Different people for different strokes. That's all there is, Sarge.
No, it's not different people for different strokes. It's fucking ignorant people for ignorant people is what it is.
Well, here's the thing though, with that DoorDash driver, there we did find, this is really strange too. Another person, become another person anyway, that looks very similar to, like, almost identical to her, and the name is Loria Dewan Zida, something like that. Anyway, same person, Sarge. I can almost tell you they look so much alike, but completely different name. Now she is booked into the county jail. There is not one mugshot of Molly McMichael that we could find anywhere, and it's very strange shit.
Well, somebody said in that video that she was a good-looking girl, and I'm thinking, when was that? Before she was conceived?
I could show you back on her Facebook before she got wrapped up with drugs, sir. It took a lot out of her. A lot.
No, it added a lot to her. Looks like her nose blew up like a light bulb, or she's off.
Well, all of that happened too, but she was a pretty lady.
Someone's saying she was attractive. I'm looking, what the fuck do you consider attractive? I don't even know.
She absolutely was. I even told that to the mods earlier when I was looking at it. I was like, you know what, you guys? I said, she was.
You're the one spreading that rumor.
No, it wasn't. He's spreading the rumor.
I mean, the Dago's going around and tell everybody how handsome I am. All you women are going to be chasing me.
I don't lie. That's the problem.
She got a nose like a light bulb. She Rudolph without the red.
Now she didn't back when she did her. I'll show you. Hold on.
I got Dago.
I'll show you the difference.
Yeah. Let's see a before and after, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, it's a big difference, sir. It's a big difference.
I turtled up the minute I saw that picture. I was like, good looking. Who said that?
That's what drugs does to you, sir.
Not that it matters. We all look different, right? I don't want to be accused of shaming people, but I mean, ugly is ugly. And in some people's eyes, I'm ugly, and I completely am okay with that. I mean,
all right, where you guys at? One of you guys tell me how to spell the last name again. The maiden name again, you guys.
Police mugshots are always ugly. I don't know. Trump's got a pretty good one. Did you see his mugshot?
I found it. Forget it. Yes, I saw
He placed it in all the Capitol buildings.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not a bad mugshot. It's actually one of his better photos, I think.
There you go. This was probably taken quite a few years ago, but there you go. And like I said, she's a decent looking girl, Sarge, just before the drugs. That's the same woman, by the way.
Yeah, all right, I guess.
I mean, as compared to what you're seeing now,
she's got a big chest. No, her face is just a little more exaggerated than it is there. I mean, she took the time to use Clairol or something, or I don't even know what makeup women use nowadays.
she was an attractive lady, I think, back then, and the drugs will destroy you completely.
To each their own, I guess. Yeah.
Now the other woman that they've come out with, I think
the women in my chat room are cuter than her.
Well,
but who am I to say?
Absolutely. she's been through hell. She watched her husband shot dead in front of her, and then the addiction, of course, and all of that has happened to her. So it will take a toll on you, in my opinion.
I'm just fucking around, but I don't care what she looks like. She looks fine to me. I mean, Just me being a douchebag just because I can. I'm the host. You know what I'm saying? No, click me off.
No, I didn't say she was a supermodel, but I was just saying, as compared to what she looks like now, that's a hell of a difference.
No, that's an improvement if you step back in time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with me. The younger I was, the better looking I got. But I can say that for a man 60 years old, I don't look anywhere near my age. No wrinkles, none of that shit. My face doesn't have them smile marks because I don't smile. No wrinkles. So yeah, I'm in good shape for 60.
So you use oil of Olay. That's what it is.
No, I don't. I got oily skin as an Italian, brother.
I get that.
I still get a little bit of acne every now and then. It's fucked up.
Yep. I get it.
What the hell? At least it ain't pimples on my ass, though. Unless my face could be my ass, according to some people, I'm sure. But, it is what it is.
That's all you, sir.
No smile marks because I don't smile.
The weird thing I can't get with this whole thing, and that's like I said, this woman's supposed to be locked up right now, and you can't find her under this name, this Molly McMichael or Molly Segata, but you can sure find her, like I said, under a completely different name that came out of nowhere.
She's going to testify to her knowledge of what she did that night. I'm sure they're going to try to. That's all going to get blown up though, because the crime didn't start until 4:17 a.m. So I don't know what the person in that car did that parked at 4:07. But I don't think it had anything at all, even remotely, to do with what went on in that house.
I don't either.
The sad thing is, I've heard DoorDash body cam footage since a week after it happened. I didn't think it was related, so I just left it in the drive folder. Never even watched it. Well, did you finally watch it, Kara?
Sad thing is I've had the DoorDash. Oh, gotcha.
Sergeant uses Alberto VO5. Carl's old. He knows what Alberto VO5 is all about.
The hot oil treatment. Hell
Vidal Sassoon.
Vidal Sassoon. I remember that stuff.
What did I look at that? SRB. Someone said I'm gorgeous. Oh, they're talking about her. That's a shame. All right, so listen. I'm glad we haven't heard anything from Steve G, because his lies are just.
I don't think we're going to. I think
Pardon?
He was told to shut his mouth until the trial, and that's period. I think that's what the one ex parte hearing was about. Truly, that's my opinion.
So this woman's going to claim she saw Brian, who was in a mask, wearing a hoodie or wearing a mask, right, all dressed in black,
supposedly in the car.
But she could in a car going in a different direction than her,
and
she's going to be able to identify Brian
at the same time. Like her eyes were going all over the place because she supposedly saw somebody looking out the window on the second floor. At the same exact time she was seeing Brian in that car.
Were you on here? You're going to be here, and I'm going to be the lawyer. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Were you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol that night?
No.
No. So that must be an exception to the rule. Objection, Your Honor.
Withdrawn.
I'd wipe that fucking woman out with the questions, bro.
Mm-hmm. Norma, wait, yes, but I take 3 lower tab 10s a day, wear a fentanyl patch, and holy shit, deal with daily pain on a daily basis, but still that doesn't give me the right to get me in. Nope, you're right. You're 100% right, Norma. That is absolutely truth.
What the hell's a lore tab?
It's a pain pill.
This is Norma, you really do this, or are you talking about the witness?
I think she's talking about herself. I mean, that's some pain. I went through them back in the day.
Man.
Yeah, Heather's got a good point. She goes, that happened in late May of 23, and then bam, all that mess. There it is. All that mess about the fake combo with the Macy May. Oh, yeah, and then down there, and then says, and then next month, Linda Lane's leaked. It's a repetitious thing. It happens every time.
Oh shit. Laura remembers that picture. Look at that. I'm being stalked.
Are we gonna have to pull another the dating thing with Sarge again, or what?
I'm being stalked. Help me.
Yep.
Is she related to Brian? Because I'm scared.
Yeah, right. Nope, she's in Australia anyway. That's a hell of a trip to get to that.
What's a hot profile? HAWT. Oh, hot. Oh,
hot profile pic.
Well, it was a pic that was taken around the same time the pic you're seeing me in the stream with. Don't worry, I am going to do a special live presentation with Sergeant Friday unmasked. No sunglasses, no photo, live on camera.
I've seen it. It's no big deal.
Jesus Christ, Dago. Kindness has just elude you today.
It's not scary, but you'll be good. You'll be safe.
The only way I was able to enjoy fucking Father's Day was to tie money around my neck yesterday. It was terrible. Unbelievable.
They come running for. They come running for it.
Pain management since 08. It says, do not mix with alcohol. No eyeliner.
No, you don't want to do that there, Norma. That doesn't work.
When, Sergeant, we going to see? When, Sergeant? When, Sergeant? Soon. Soon, I promise. I might. Can you stream from your phone?
Yeah.
So I could StreamYard from my phone while I'm cruising around in the race car.
Yes, you could.
We can hear the rumble and the power under my foot. Yeah.
Just as long as you're not trying to type or talk and you don't wreck the damn car.
The power from the waist down. Sergeant Friday.
Distinguished SRB? I wouldn't go that far, but he's not a bad looking guy.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
Italian. He's Italian. You got to have the natural looks.
I was on that. You guys remember that thing, hotornot.com? Do you ever remember? Do you remember that? I was on there. They said I was a 7. My average came out to be a 7. I was pretty fucking impressed with myself.
That's funny.
I add a couple of more and you know more about me. But 7 was good.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Am I supposed to do drum rolls here?
Why don't we even come in this guy's stream? Holy fuck. He's everything streamers aren't supposed to be.
Yep.
What else do we have here? Oh, D-Teen is ignorant. So Daniel, the drunk fucking parrot, the drunk parakeet, the drunk pigeon, the drunk fucking sparrow. How about the dumb turd? The dumb turd show. My name is Daniel and I'm your host. I got no hair, so I wear a hat. My eyes are crooked, so I wear glasses. This dude's probably a kooky-eyed, bald, fat bastard. And he's got the demeanor that's like, they go on. What is your opinion on such and such?
I don't even know what to say because I don't know what happened. He didn't used to be the way he is now. And I could have a conversation with him and he just is completely gone back.
Listen, he was a Brian didn't do it when this all started. And
no,
he was. No, when he got on the TV and started talking his shit about things that were questionable, they fucking railroaded the guy.
Well, I know that he was open-minded at one point and thought, well, I could see how this could be somebody else and how this and that, and that's how we used to talk, but not anymore. He's been pretty hardcore guilty for quite a while now. He's ex-law.
That's his name.
I know. I don't think that should have anything to do with it. Just because you were law enforcement doesn't mean you have to stick with the guilty.
He was law enforcement, that guy?
Oh, yeah, he was a cop.
I'd have ran over his feet if he pulled me over for a ticket.
He was a cop down in Texas.
No, we're going to call him the dumb turd. No more is he a drunk bird. He's a dumb turd. You know, he went on that show and they shamed him. They embarrassed this guy because he was up there trying to put a reasonable explanation to the information that had been released at that time. And the media didn't want to hear it. And they made fun of him, basically, without making fun of him. And then the next thing you know, within a short period of time, suddenly Daniel's 100% guilty. He's such a guilty, he would confess to the crime himself if you get a fucking primetime spot on fucking Dateline.
He thinks everybody's guilty. Like Karen's guilty, and I think Richard Allen was guilty. Everybody that he's ever looked at in every case has been guilty to him. So
right. And then unfortunately, there's too many idiots in our nation that are like him. And they'll go into a jury box and send you to your death, even if the evidence shows that there's nothing to convict you other than the opinion you don't like the guy.
That is true.
Right?
That is true.
How can you side with a guy you don't like?
No idea. No idea.
I mean, and that's the thing. Even if you don't like somebody, like I don't, Brian could be a fucking completely opposite of his worldview from mine. And I really wouldn't give a fuck because that's not really a question here. Your worldview shouldn't be a question. What should be a question is the information accurate? When the father with all this inside information comes out and blatantly lies to your face over and over again, somebody needs to ask that motherfucker why. Why are you doing that, Steve? Is anybody's body worth the life of your daughter? Is that what it is? Would anybody suffice?
Why
Would
does
you
it
feel
have to
better?
be- Yeah. Why does it have to be Brian?
It doesn't. Based on my analysis of the guy, it doesn't matter if the guy's name was Joe. He's not interested in justice. He's interested in revenge.
100%, because this ain't justice. Not even close. It's going to be murder. Same thing. Same thing.
I don't think there's a single person observing this Kohberger case. And I say this with all sincerity to Kohberger. I don't believe, I'm going to use my term belief because this is what I believe based on what I've seen from people, that not one of us could sit in that fucking chair with the dignity and decency that Brian has displayed in all the fucking hours and times and weeks and years and months he's been in fucking jail. I don't think any of us could sit in that courtroom like he can. That's
agreed.
There's no way you wouldn't have screamed out by now. There's just no way. You wouldn't have got all nervous and jittery and not been able to sit still, looking around. And no. I don't know how this guy, where he gets his composure from, but there's a story in and of itself. He's being accused of 4 fucking homicides and he's facing a firing squad. Nah, none of us got that kind of fucking personal fucking collection, personal.
And I mean, do you think it's competence, Sarge, or do you think it's just because of him being on the spectrum? Or I mean, what do you think it is? Because he doesn't even blink. I mean, he seems beyond confident. That's how I see it. It comes off as confidence to me.
See, my being under, being with on the spectrum causes like I do suffer from a severe bout of passion when it comes to the truth and honesty.
I get it.
And he seems to have this withdrawn ability to just, I don't even know, man, how he can do. I can't relate. I just can't. That's why I say I don't believe. I know I've talked with anybody that can do what he's done. And that's not the behavior of a serial killer.
Not at all. Not at all. I do agree.
I don't think that's the behavior of a man that murdered 4 people. I think that's the behavior of a man that knows he's done no wrong. And in that respect, you know what? I from that point of view, I've done no wrong and I know the truth. And hold himself together like that. That may be the thread that keeps him going.
That's confidence. Like I said, he's confident within what he knows and what he didn't do.
None of us listen to anything Daniels. I agree, none of us listen, but it's fun to poke fun at the fucking dumb turd, because the dumb turd actually, the last person he interviewed, that woman, I don't even know who she is. She put him on the spot a few times, and he, I'm sure I read it somewhere.
And Jeanette
I'm talking about a backpack. Where does he get this backpack from?
Oh, that's the kill kit. Yeah, that's the kill. That's a Steve G reference.
A kill kit to which he needed a fucking knife. A kill kit to which he was too stupid to bring the sheets out of the fucking house. But he had a kill kit on his back. Steve, if you ever listen to this, you couldn't be more fucking ignorant. It's willful ignorance on that guy's part. A kill kit. Yeah. He bought a backpack, carried all this stuff. He needed a knife to kill these kids.
Well, that's the same as when you asked him why he thought Brian did this, what the motive was. And his answer was because he was jealous of Maddie and Kaylee's relationship. You've got to be kidding me. He didn't even know them. He had no idea who they were. Why would a guy like this be jealous of 2 girls' relationship? That is one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard in my life. It relates to stupidity as far as I'm concerned.
Look at that. He had a backpack but didn't leave the sheath in it.
Exactly, Heather. Exactly, Heather.
You don't encumber yourself. You don't encumber yourself with a backpack to go fucking stab people to death.
What did he set the backpack down while he did what he did and then put it back on and walk away? I mean, come on. These are just stupid answers. Stupid.
Yeah, there's footage, Freebird, that shows Alan continue on. The man on the bridge continued on beyond those 2 young girls, and they kept streaming before they walked off that trail. So there's that person that they claim on the bridge is Alan, and their diagnosis of what they claim that person did doesn't fit the actual video surveillance that was recovered from the phone.
That's not even Richard Allen, folks. I know.
So how do you know the guy in the bridge did this? This is the other thing that I think that a lot of people are so easily cajoled to accept someone else's description of the events that are taking place. I mean, they say there's a car, suspect vehicle 1, and you accept that to mean Brian, but there's nothing to identify that car as belonging to Brian or Brian being in the car. And without those two pieces of information, you literally are an empty-headed fucking idiot. You literally are, because I promise you, you don't want to be the one where there's no evidence to name you or identify you, and you're the one that's going to face a fucking death sentence. And in the Richard Allen case, there's no evidence that man on the bridge did a fucking thing to them girls. There's evidence that contradicts that. Yep. Lana showed that on her show. Did you see that episode?
I sure enough did.
Same thing with this fucking Karen Reed. You can't back into somebody at 24 miles an hour and only scratch their fucking arm. How did she only hit the guy's arm? Why isn't there a broken rib, a bruised hip, a bad knee, ran over the foot? Are you people out of your mind?
She was. There's no way she was going 24 miles an hour just backing up that far. Think about it.
You know, a question that wasn't asked and it should be asked, and it wasn't by the defense attorney? It snowed that night, did it not?
Yes, it did.
Does the computer record tire speed or vehicle speed?
It definitely should record both, I think.
No.
It should.
The speed on the computer speed is going to pick up the acceleration of the drivetrain, not the physical movement of the vehicle. Its sensors can't sense the outside. The GPS could pick up. Is it a GPS reading that they got the vehicle was traveling that fast, or was it the onboard computer for the truck?
It's got to be the onboard computer, I would imagine.
Okay, and that onboard computer would not deviate whether it was on a slippery surface or not.
No.
So when no tire was going 24 miles an hour in reverse, that could easily be achieved by trying to do a fucking a 3-point turn and spinning your tires on snow. And that was never clarified. And I honestly think that maybe it wasn't that, and that's why the defense attorney stayed away from that. But I highly suspect that the speed they're talking about was the tire speed.
Yeah,
that was recorded on the computer.
Because there's no way in hell that
there it is. Chris says it. Wheel speed sensors.
That's what I was thinking of.
That does not denote the movement of the vehicle, just the movement of the tire. I can get my tires to do well over 100 miles an hour and not move anywhere.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The car did not move 24 miles an hour in reverse. The wheels may have been spinning because it was snowy and icy. That makes sense. But still, that car did not move fast or hard enough back to do the damage to him that was done to him. There's just no way in hell. Nor would it bust out that taillight like that. It wouldn't.
No, that one expert that brought the taillight in was excellent.
Yep.
Now the jury gets to handle the taillight.
I hope they play the Sallyport video again.
Yeah.
That's an important one.
And every wound in the jacket is a puncture
that was bitten by a dog. That's why.
See that? Rach just said the tire spinning makes sense. That's what I'm saying, Rachel.
It absolutely does.
And if it was a wheel, if it was a speed sensor for the tire, then that's a mistake that particular defense attorney overlooked. He didn't get it.
Yep.
Right.
That's something that definitely should be called into question, because that would explain the vehicle speed, knowing that you can watch that. I mean, just from experience, there's no way that car was going that fast, moving, like mobily moving at that speed. The wheels may have been going that fast or more, but not the vehicle. And it shouldn't have done. It would never near do that damage. That guy's arm was destroyed by a dog. That's evident. Right. I've seen that happen before. I looked at that. The first time I analyzed that, I said that I'm telling you from my own personal experience, that is those are dog bites, period. I'll argue that and stay on that. I'll die on that hill, period. So.
Look at that, Kara. You should bring that case around. Read what Kara said.
I watched my local cops drop a meth head on his head. Dude confessed to murder. The third time he was dropped, I can't get anyone to look at. What is the case? Give it to me, Kara. I'll run it. Yeah,
give it to him on Discord. See that? Now look at this is what I mean, folks. When that's always disturbed me, the argument that she went. I watched guys doing clips showing that trying to go 24 miles going backwards to hit the guy.
Mhm.
But why isn't anybody showing that it snowed that night? The snow plow was out.
Right.
And so the 24-mile-an-hour tire speed is not relevant to the movement of the vehicle. And that argument should have been driven like a fucking stake through the heart of a vampire. That represents wheel speed, which in fact would represent a vehicle in snow backing up. We've all done it. Your speedometer in front of you won't show you how fast your tires are going. No, maybe it does in modern cars. It didn't in the old cars. But even so, you try to back up in snow and for your tires to hit 24 miles an hour, absolutely easy.
Sarge, take that link I put in the back chat or the private chat, copy it and drop it in your chat. I can't do it because I'm not a mod. Oh. And then Kara can send it to me via my email. I would love to jump on that one.
Is it just this part in blue or the whole thing?
It's just the
you tell me.
Just you'll just have to right click it and copy it and then paste it in the chat.
Is that it?
I can't. Yep, there you go. That's my email, Kara. Send whatever that case is, or names or whatever. To my email, and I'll definitely look into it and I'll cover it with no doubt.
Someone says no way that's spinning tires. Well, you don't realize how a vehicle works then. A tire speed sensor does not pick up the movement of the entire vehicle. It picks up the speed of the tires to tell the transmission when to shift gears. And that happens if you put your car in drive and start spinning your tires, your transmission will shift at a predetermined speed, which is going to be calibrated based on the load of the engine and the tire speed, especially in a modern vehicle. So, Chris, yes. Oh, he meant definitely. All right. Yeah.
There's no way that car was going that fast in reverse in that little small space. There's no way in hell. Okay.
All right.
Now the tire's moving. That makes perfect sense.
Let me go back into the comments. All right. So now you guys got Dago's number there, or his email. Yeah. And that's what I mean by trying to understand the evidence in front of you. Sometimes you have to have knowledge of some of the way systems work. Mm-hmm. And sometimes seeing a question like that, he's not a car guy. He wouldn't have questioned the vehicle moving at 24 miles an hour because the computer recorded that. Not to understand that the computer's only recording the tire speed.
Right.
Not the movement of the 6,000-pound chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And so that argument is undisputable. Somebody should have hammered down on that, and they didn't. I still think she's going to be exonerated. What do you think?
100%.
I think she's going to be exonerated. I think they presented a good defense. And that, there's always that what do you call that Monday morning quarterbacking, which I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And
I think they've definitely I think she's got this one in the bag for sure now.
I think she does. And I think it's clear that the crime was committed in the home.
100%.
And that man was placed on that lawn. And the fact that there's no the direct puncture wounds in the fucking jacket and the hoodie's arm tells you everything.
Yes, it does. And like I said, when you look at those, the bear marks on the skin, those are absolute dog bites. Why the hell would the dude replace the basement floor twice and then sell the house and the dog? Come on. That makes just no sense. That sounds good, Kara. Thank you, dear. I'll definitely take a look.
I agree with you, Norma. Listen, this witness is, I don't want to attack the girl. I was being, a goofball when I was like, but again, I was replying to comments that I've heard floating around about her being attractive, and so I went after that. But
yeah,
her validity as a witness is to be seen, and I don't know what she saw or what she didn't see or any part that she may have in this at all. None of us do, and we got.
I have a feeling that if they ask her if the man she saw in that car is sitting in that courtroom and she points to him, I'm going to have to call her a liar. I don't believe that she saw him that night. Somebody else swears up and down she did. That was in my chat
anybody that's a guilter now they got the eyewitness. I don't know after all this time if she's even going to testify on behalf of the defense because she is such an unreliable witness.
Well, that's why they got her in jail right now. They're trying to get her cleaned up and dried out so that she can testify. That's the whole theory behind it, Sarge.
I'm not so worried the jury is taking this long so much as there were multiple alternative charges they could have hit her with, right?
Yes.
Including drunk driving or something, or DUI, or
they could have hit her with all sorts of stuff, I'm sure. Yeah. Because she wasn't supposed to be driving for DoorDash, from my understanding, and she was intoxicated. It wasn't alcohol. It was, whatever drug she was on. So yeah.
And who was it? What's the name of that pig-nosed judge?
Wait, which one? In Hippler?
No, the pig nose over there in that fucking in the Karen Reed case.
Oh shit! What's her name? I call
There's
her
a woman that don't like mirrors.
Judge Gall 2.0 is what I call her. But what is her last name?
Who's
Heather, what's her
Farley?
last? Judge Bev. What the hell's
Bev.
her last?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Canoni.
Bev Canone with the fucking
Beverly
pig nose.
Canoni. That's it. There you go. And she's
Yeah.
Italian. Oh no, Sarge.
Well, I mean, the fucking Godfather warned us about the corruption in our judicial system.
Yes, he did.
He didn't want his sons to be part of the business. He wanted them to be senators and fucking lawyers and judges.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And that's how that's essentially how crime cartels infested our fucking justice system. Right.
You ain't lying about
The
that.
money they use to kill your kids and neighbors and friends on the fucking drugs they're selling. They put their kids to college to put them in, like, you think the Como family here in fucking New York? I mean, it's just crazy, man. The fucking the people we've had in government.
That is true.
Judge Bev. Yeah, she's a fucking. Somebody said something. Can you see comments on here? Yeah, we can see them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Marie. Injustice.
Curious Rose is in here. I don't know who that is. Has she been in here?
Yes, she's in here. Welcome, Curious. I told you I invited a bunch of people over here. Welcome, Curious Rose. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us over here. What do we got?
Yeah,
here?
we're doing. There's a link.
Peeps. Wait a minute.
A link to the stream if people want to come in. Well, combined with X, which X does pretty good for me over here. I get. What do I got over here in X? I got 40 viewers in X.
95 people in here, and you got 61 likes. What the hell you guys doing? Come on now.
That's all right. We're really not getting into too much new detail or anything. This is kind of like an hour stream. I actually went up in subscribers recently. I'm up to 2,800. And
it's because you've been staying a little bit longer than your hour, and I think people enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely a completely fucking enjoyable fucking prick. No doubt about it. Oh my God. Anybody's welcome to join. As I said, you're not blocked. I unblocked the name Teresa. I totally unblocked it.
Now the other one, Angel, is saying she's still blocked. Angel D.
Who's Angel?
That is the
Marie.
No. Where'd the name go? Yeah, T Marie. Is that you, Angel?
The name I unblocked was Teresa. That's what she asked me to unblock.
Oh no. T Marie is Teresa.
Yeah, and I unblocked the name Teresa.
She says it's still blocked.
I don't know how that could be. I unblocked it. I literally went in and found it was at the top of the list. So
Law enforcement is Angel.
Yeah. Hey, Sergeant, how are you? What's up, Trace?
Thank you for being here, Tracy.
So yeah, so I did, just so you know, folks. I told Dago earlier, and I against my my raucous self indignation over Jules. I listened a little bit of Harsh, and he said Jules had done a takedown of the Dumb Turd Show. So I went and watched that. The interesting thing, and this was one of the things in the beginning why I liked her, was because she does think an awful lot like I do, and she does sort through the data in a way extremely similar to myself. And our conclusions are, if not exactly the same, they're 95% the same. Mm-hmm. And that was always the case between her and I when I first got around true crime. And I appreciated her for her capacity to sort through tea leaves and make a cup of fucking tea that tasted good.
No nonsense, no bullshit. That's right.
Right.
Both of you. Hey, Paula.
And I that was always an attribute that I credit her with. She still brings up Dot. She did in that stream today, but not in reference to me. But again, she, like me, feels that a person like Dot is the worst fucking thing to enter true crime. They're just filthy no goods that are in here to get attention, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I mentioned with that thing the other day, that it seemed like a Dot experience. That whole what DT read reminded me of some dumb Dot bullshit.
There you go, blowing my cover. Someone's running for cover, Dago.
That's Angel just being Angel.
Who's this? Angel?
That's Angel. That's Angel D. That's the one that's still blocked.
Still blocked?
She said she was, yeah.
I don't know. You know, the mods have the ability to block you folks too, not just me. I mean, I want you to realize that. And the people that I've blocked, I've done it publicly in front of all of you. And it's only been half a dozen times, maybe. But I literally do that, and everybody, there's no ambiguity with me. It's if I'm going to block your ass, I light you right up in the stream. I talk about banging your mom or your sister or your aunt or your grandmother, somebody, right? Even your father. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I light you up and then block you, right?
You do that. That's for sure.
Hank was over there shaking his head. He's like,
I saw that True Crime X. I seen it. I looked at all that info earlier with my crew, and I don't know. I think he's an anarchist, and that's that's the way he likes things. I don't think there's a whole lot of it's not that bad. There was some stuff sent to me earlier that was it's out there about somebody in particular, and I looked through it with the crew, and we all kind of agreed that it's just his lifestyle. It doesn't make him a horrible person as of for sure. You know what I mean? We don't know who he is. The DoorDasher's boyfriend. That Jimmy.
Oh, yeah. Look, we all have our problems, folks. I think first and foremost, all of you that have been able to were raised in a decent enough family that you got the love and security, and you went and made a life for yourself. I think you all deserve the pat on the back. Not people like me that turn their life around after a fucking, a tragedy of fucking existence until you got smart enough to fucking stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So. All of us, we all have a story to tell. We all have a past, and some of it is fantastic, and for a lot of us, it's not. And I really, honestly, I don't think anybody that did the things I did that turned his life around deserves a fucking pat on the back. It should be about fucking time. Is how it should be looked at. About fucking time. Instead of, this miraculous pat on the back. Look how great. No. The greatness comes from people doing the right thing right from the fucking jump. And maintaining that and building a life, having a family or not, and doing the right thing more, is a common everyday fucking way of living. Those people deserve pats on the back. They never get them. But they're the ones that are quick to give a guy like me a pat on the back,
That's what we were saying earlier. There doesn't seem to be any rewards for doing the right thing anymore, other than to yourself.
Yeah, it's a personal thing. That's what I got look, when I went through therapy, I absolutely refused and will not accept and would not accept any therapist or counselor that had a substance abuse or addiction problem. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to learn how to live life by you. I want to learn out how the person that did it right from the jump did it, okay? I want to see their perspective on life, their views. I don't need to hear it from another, because you need to relate to your therapist. No, you don't need to relate to anybody. You need to learn and gather the tools to live a successful life. And generally, you're going to get that from decent, everyday people. That's success. Being decent, an everyday decent person is successful. And I refused any counselor. They wanted me to be a counselor. They were going to pay. And I refused. I was like, hell no, I ain't doing that. No way. And so I had this little counselor from India. Her name was Jyoti. This woman was like 4'5", and she'd have to stand on a chair to confront some of her clients. And she would too. She'd get right up in your face, point her finger at you. You stupid motherfucker. And Jyoti would light your ass up and fix the way you were thinking and show you plain as day how fucked up your point of view was. She was awesome.
Right.
But again, somebody that never suffered from an addiction. So can you imagine me being a counselor? Listen, I sent a guy back out to drink because of a fart.
Wow.
I farted in this big meeting, and it was on a metal chair, and it sounded like someone was hitting the chair with a fucking spoon. Bang, 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 bang. And everybody looked at this poor innocent bastard. It turns out he had just come in there for his first meeting. And I was dying laughing. I can't believe the people sitting next to me didn't know it was me. Everybody looks and focuses in on this one guy. And he snaps. You people are assholes. I come in here not to drink, and you're blaming me for blowing the room up.
Wow.
I'm going back to the bar, he says. And I couldn't do anything about it. I was in stitches, literally on the floor. People were looking at me like I was crazy. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even admit to the fart. Oh man,
That's funny.
that shit's crazy, bro.
Somebody in here said you'd be better off being a prison guard, Sarge. Oh Lord.
No, I don't want to be a prison guard. I don't. That's why I wouldn't be a therapist. I don't want to be around people at the worst times of their lives because it's very heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's a good point.
You know, it's like being in the medical thing. I mean, I probably could have been an extremely successful, arrogant surgeon, but other than that, I couldn't. Shakes said, "Yeah, you could have done that too, yeah." And I couldn't be a politician because I couldn't lie to get your money. I just couldn't do it. I don't place that much value in things,
right?
You know, I place a lot more value, believe it or not, in solitude and calm. Literally, I place a massive amount of value on that. Carl says the only therapy he believes in is in physical therapy. Yeah, but Carl doesn't. Oh, well, we'll get Carl up in the sky, see if he can do a push-up on the glass dome that surrounds the earth, the firmament. I was going into criminal psych. Yeah, that's tough, man. I should do TED Talks. I could do TED Talks. I could get into doing that.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah,
I could definitely do that one. I'll tell
Bear
you
with
one
me.
thing.
Bear with me 1 second. Keep rapping. My phone's ringing.
I regretted when I became a first responder. I regretted it at first. The first few incidents I had, it was immediate regret. I was like, what did I do? Why am I here? Holy shit. And then I got a few more under the belt and realized that somebody's got to do it. Everybody probably goes through that. And I kept right on going until I couldn't go anymore. And I don't regret any bit of it now. It's hard to see people in those situations, especially if you come into a situation where you do everything you can and you can't help that person. That makes it way harder, truly. And that's what gave me PTSD. That's the price you pay for doing that. But hey, so now I'm out here trying to be as helpful and positive as I can and help in this way, in any way, shape, or form. Yep, I see your comments. I see you, True Crime X. Yes, I've seen.
Sorry about that. That was my my poor man. Got a big job. We're starting tomorrow morning.
Now you go on Lana's live. Who?
Lana just did a live on.
I didn't bully anybody. I didn't even say anything about that when she was talking about that shit. So how is that?
What are you talking about? What happened? What happened?
Translucent just came in here and said, so now I know she ain't talking to you because you weren't in there, but now you go on Lana's live and bully me. I didn't say a word.
Who's translucent?
She put out a video.
Oh no, I think Lana was bullying translucent or something. No,
I was just in there. I didn't say a damn word. So
yeah. Who's this? Is that her picture? What is she in, leather or something?
I can't see it very good at all.
Yeah, it's a difficult picture to see. It looks like
I laughed about some of the things she said, but I wasn't bullying anybody. I don't do that. So
no, I think she was being critical. I don't even think she was picking on her, but I think Lana was being critical of some of the stuff that was on that stream.
Now, let me say this though, real quick, if you don't mind, Sarge. I will say this, and this isn't the place because this is not my platform, but I also don't think it's okay to come in under a false name and attack one of my moderators either, or anybody for that matter. So that's not a good thing to do, but that's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Nope, I don't bully people. Never have, never will.
I'm just a bully in general.
I wouldn't call you a bully. I wouldn't call you a bully. I think you're a realist, Sarge.
I think there was some statements made about something that came across the stream from someone called Translucent. Lana was making some observations or something, but I didn't stay in there. I didn't even know you did you end up on the stream? I stayed in there and I was hoping you'd get up there, but then
I didn't go up on the panel. I was just in the chat. But yeah.
Okay.
And all it was that Lana made a statement that video that was put out by that person was put out before that by another channel, which it was proven to be true. I mean, it's true. Truth is truth.
JLR, but there was also someone else that was connected to somebody said that DoorDasher ordered from Jack and the whatever, ordered the order themselves and then came and picked it up.
Yes.
That's something that we don't know to be true yet.
No.
But there weren't, who went in there and did it? Was it Rory or was it was
Rory?
somebody?
And I watched this morning, me and the mods went and watched that again. Rory and JLR did it. And when Rory went there, initially they told him that it was a guy. They showed him a picture. It was a guy that had been fired because he was stealing the food and eating it. And then the other JLR said that they told him it was a girl with long black hair.
Right.
Two different stories. And now we have this story.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, if this woman literally saw Brian Koberger and she can prove that, or she's got evidence that supports her statements, and she's not just saying it because she's trying to get herself out of jail, right?
I don't know.
And why didn't she give that description? Here's the other problem. Is there a description, more accurate description of the occupant of that vehicle that she provided early on in the investigation? Because remember, she was removed from suspicion because she came and showed where she was with receipts. The DoorDash driver was cleared. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, if the DoorDash driver was cleared, did the DoorDash driver at that time give a detailed description of what she saw and who she saw?
Right.
That's really going to go to the validity of her data she's saying that you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I've not seen any, maybe some of the sealed hearings or stuff covered it. I don't know.
Probably.
We can't know. Right?
We got one tomorrow that I will be, Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. 2 more days.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I don't know. Is that translucent still in here? Don't come in here and cry because another streamer said some shit about you.
I have no idea.
Just I mean, that's free advertising. There's no such thing as bad advertising.
I don't like being tagged a bully because I don't bully people. If anything, I stand up for people that are getting bullied, but that's okay. It is what it is. It's just this isn't my stream, so don't do it in here.
What is this she's talking about? I scrolled
up. It scrolled past me way too fast. But who said that they're fine?
Okay, it was the private driver.
I have a full email timestamp, and I only shared.
Sorry,
you're all right.
Shared part of that video from my FOIA request, which I have proof of. So what is she referring to?
I don't know. I have no idea. What are you talking about there, Miss Kara?
It was a private driver that had receipts of where he went after he dropped the girls off. Okay.
He went to Taco Bell, he said.
So, but the DoorDash was excluded early on, was it not?
Yeah, like very early on. They said that the DoorDasher came, turned herself in December 4th, I think it was, and they cleared her. That was what they stated early on. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but that's what I remember.
Yeah. So was she key to identifying a vehicle? Was she key to describing the perpetrator she thinks she saw? That's going to be important. If there isn't any of that data from way back when, what you're seeing now in these videos and her connection with law enforcement, she may in fact be a witness, but only to reinforce that at 4 o'clock there was nothing happening there.
Well, all we have right now, Sarge, is that statement she made in a video that she was the DoorDasher. That's all we know. There's not been any documents to bring that out with a name on it. There's not been any of that yet. I'm sure if it's true, it's going to come out, but they haven't showed it yet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I thought someone was out there saying that she said she can identify Brian, or she identified Brian.
In that video, she says that I have to testify in the murder case. And the officer said, what are you talking about? And she said, the college girls, and she was leaning away and it was hard to hear it. But I believe that at this point, that's probably what she said. She leaned away and said, I saw Brian. It's very faint, but you can hear something like that. Everybody swears that's what she said. So, okay. And that's what if she's saying she's going to testify.
You got that video?
Yeah. Hold on.
If you got that, it would be nice. It'd be nice to play it.
1 second.
But I wonder if, I don't know why yours, every time you play a video, it feeds right back.
It's because I have to turn the audio on.
Can you turn your mic off though?
Yeah, I can.
And that way, I can, you can start and stop it.
Yep. Yeah, hold on. And I'll even go forward to the part because the rest of it is sad. I don't want to see anybody going through that. So the whole thing is, but I'll get to that point here. Hold on.
I wonder if it's not more Linda Lane bullshit.
No, this is a little different.
No, it's a little different, but it's almost as if she's throwing something out there like maybe that would be some kind of a shield if she comes up with that, And she's saying that, and I don't why she's even bringing that up. She's being arrested.
That's what nobody seems to understand is that, like, you were arrested for something else. Why did this come up? You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people were questioning. Hang on here.
Yeah, Norma said this. Well, what she said is whatever she says, you're going to hear it in court soon, as long as it doesn't get delayed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, here we go. Go ahead and pull it up there. All right.
All right.
And then I'll mute it when I play it.
All right. There goes muted. Still reverb.
Your constitutional rights. I'm just going to read them to you again. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right at this time to an attorney.
I'm going to put the closed caption on so you can, if it helps.
Anything you say and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney before answering any questions. You have the right to have an attorney present during the questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you without cost if you so desire. You can exercise these rights at any time. Do you understand these rights? Okay. So, Molly, the reason why they call me is because I specialize in drug impairment. And I get a lot of extra training and learn about different issues that can mimic drug impairment.
Just so you know, they took her in on suspicion of DUI, which is not alcohol. They said they knew she was going to blow clean. She blew a 00 on the breathalyzer. Just so you know, sorry.
Impairment, including medical conditions, and I have evaluated numerous people. Some I have found to be under the influence of drugs, some I have found to be impaired by medical conditions, and some I have found to not be impaired at all. My understanding is that you were arrested for DUI tonight and that you have a ton of medical conditions. I was curious if you would be willing to talk with me about what's going on and let me look at some things like your eyes, your vital signs, things like that. Is that something that you would be willing to do? Just you what? Okay. Did you have questions for me?
I'm scared. I really got PTSD.
What's going on with your stomach?
It feels like I have an ulcer. They call it MS hug. I'm not sure.
What they call a what?
You looked it up. Some people call it an MS hug.
An MS hug?
Yeah.
And
it just feels like sometimes getting close to my rib cage.
okay.
And it hurts really bad. Right there for a few minutes.
And it happens to you when you're stressed out? Okay. So, this is your first time in trouble? Okay. It is definitely stressful. I have seen this happen quite a bit. But, like, at the end of the day, you are going to go home, and our goal is to make sure people are safer on the roadways.
It wasn't trying crazy. You over my
Okay. Who pulled you over?
Jordan.
Okay. So, do you think officers arrested you because of your medical conditions, or did you actually use drugs?
I told them that I took a painkiller quite a while ago for my back.
Okay.
I've been on them for years and years. So I care. No problem.
Well, one of the officers also expressed that they believed you're under the influence of stimulants. Did you take a stimulant today?
I took my cold medicine this morning. I have an immune system deficiency. I get sick and it gets bad really quick.
So,
When I was in 2003, I was sick. I was all of a sudden sick, and then within 24 hours, I was put in a drug-induced coma. My right lung was completely filled with fluid. My left lung was completely filled with fluid. My temperature never got over 99 until I was halfway to Spokane, already in a coma.
okay.
I have to watch my health, be careful.
You have to watch your what?
I have to watch my health, be careful.
Okay. What medical conditions do you have?
I have fibromyalgia, I have CMA,
You have so you have arthritis.
rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
My joints are always dislocating. I also, my upper shoulders and arms, I forget what it's called, but they, basically I don't get enough blood flow and then it runs to my arms
Okay.
because my chest is too large. It's cut off because I don't work right all the time. I have a hard time with it.
Did a doctor diagnose that, or?
My doctor and police, yes, they're all diagnosed.
Okay.
I have PTSD, I have depression, I have insomnia. My husband was murdered in front of me. He was shot 9 times. Our friend
Where did that happen?
in Moscow.
In Moscow.
Yep.
When was that?
Poorly. Never poorly.
Who was your husband?
Charles McMichael, he was shot in the market.
And
And then now I have to testify. Big murder case here, so yeah, because I'm a DoorDash driver, so yeah.
you have to testify in which murder
Murder
case?
case with the college girl.
Oh.
I'm a DoorDash driver, I saw Brian.
Right there is where she supposed to says it. On the DoorDash driver, I saw Brian.
Brian. You got to turn down that reverb.
I don't know how to change any of that. That's just the way it is. It's hard. It's hard to hear it.
You got a link to that video?
I do right here.
Yeah, send me a link.
Right there. It, like I said, I listened to it a bunch of times. I hear what sounds like a 3-syllable word to me. Brian's a 2-syllable word, but everybody swears up and down. She says Brian. So I just, okay.
Yeah,
play it for
so
you.
yeah, drop that. No more. Don't play that anymore.
Okay.
I wanted to hear. I don't want to keep hearing it over and over again.
Well, there it is. That's the part where she says it. She's a DoorDash driver, and she has to testify. She saw Brian.
All right. Translucent. Listen, whatever your issues happen over in Lana's stream, can you keep them over there? I don't know why that I didn't have anything to do with it, and I personally don't give a fuck what other people are saying about you. My only experience with you at this point that I can know is what you're doing here. And I'm not really hip to it. You know, who cares how you got it when you got it? You know, this need to defend yourself in a stream that has nothing to do with nothing. You know,
This came out.
Not good.
Officer Axon put this out 8 months ago. That's where it first came from.
What, that video?
Yeah, this is the channel Officer Axon. He put it out 8 months ago. I don't know what it was, why he put it out.
Hang on a second, David.
That's
translucent. You know something translucent. It's funny that you have that attitude, but you're in here crying like a fucking dumb turd, drunk turkey, little faggot, and you're in here crying like some little fucking queer. Do what you want, you can block me. Well, what the fuck are you coming in here crying about what happened on Lana's stream for, you fucking twit? Block me. Block me. What the fuck kind of ignorant cocksucker are you? You know something? I should never have fucked your mother's throat the way I did. Oh my God. Terrible of me. I just shouldn't have done that, Translucent. I'd apologize for it, but she sucked a good dick, bro. Dago, I'm back.
I hear you. I hear you.
There's no doubt when I block somebody.
No, there's not.
Right? And if you didn't get that treatment from me, then it was one of my moderators that blocked. And moderators, if you're going to block people, you should let me know who you're blocking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these people are just so fucking fickle. And, oh my God. But, you know, I didn't throw your mama from the train. I skull fucked her. It was worth it.
And that's the way that cookie crumbles, I guess.
That's the way it goes. Show comments live. What did they say about it? All right, start. There we go. No idea what this thing is telling me to do. There you go. Is mad because they found out who I actually am instead of this pen name. I don't care who these people are. They don't need to come in here and air their grievances among users on fucking YouTube in a stream that had nothing to do with nothing. You know, I mean, go to someone's stream that had something to do with it, or go on your own stream like I do and air your differences against those you have issues with. And also do what I do and post a fucking link for anybody to come in and speak their fucking mind for a moment or two. But see, someone like Translucent, they block me. Like, really?
Oh, Kara, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, whatever their issue is, Kara. But I mean, go to talk to you directly. Just keep it out of my stream. I don't know. I don't know. What the fuck? Go tell Lana that you're upset. Yeah, go tell Lana that you're upset.
Lana don't care. Lana don't care.
You know, I like Lana because if you spell her name backwards.
I know where you're going there. Yes, sir.
So it's oh, that's her name backwards. Sorry. Lana don't give a fuck.
She don't. And like I said, there's certain things that the only issue I had was she was attacking people under another name altogether different, not her own. And that Translucent. And she was attacking my moderators for nothing. No reason. Attacking one of them's lifestyle. And we don't play that game in my community. Sorry. So that's why
I don't know if the person's even been on. Is that person? Have they been in my stream before? I mean, I don't. I heard the name in Lana's stream, but I'm not sure I've seen them in here before.
No, I think she.
And if they have been, well, you know, air your differences out in your own time. Don't come into my fucked up stream and be fucked up. I mean, I'm the only one allowed to be fucked up in my fucked up stream.
There you go.
She attacked Meg P and Kane Chat too, and Meg. I don't care who she attacked. I don't know.
Meg P and Kane too. Yeah, see, she went after Tandy and a couple other people. And wait, there's no reason to do that. Just because you think a certain type of way and those people don't, it's not your problem. So anyway.
So this video has been available for a long time. Nobody's seen it.
8 months, right? Nobody's seen it. It was brought out. I don't think that this Officer Axon had any idea that it was connected to this until after the fact. You know what I mean? So, hey, Candy girl, good to see you, dear. And this whole thing's erupted from it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I don't think Lana was favorable to us to that individual, but that's, you know, Lana's personal view, and then she's entitled to it. Right? Just like I
100%.
think Steve Goncalves is a fucking idiot. The dumb turd is a fucking twit. And the DoorDash stuff, I'm going to listen to that independently of anything and see what my impressions are, what that young woman says. But
it's probably
you know,
best, yeah, if you watch it when you're by yourself and just kind
Yeah.
of focus on the whole thing, beginning to end, and give your take on it at that point. That's how I had to do it.
right. And it is kind of interesting. You're right. The timing is convenient. Another fucking
Every time.
brick in the wall against
We got a hearing coming in 2 days. Yeah, there's a hearing coming in 2 days, and it seems to happen this every time. Sarge, there's something new that comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's a never-ending onslaught of how bad fucking Brian is. I mean, he's like, you know, I don't know, Jason from fucking one of the horror shows.
Fear campaign every time. Yes, sir. And like William 127 said, there's no way in hell, in his mind, and in his opinion, that Brian could have done this, whether it be physically or mentally. So that's interesting.
I don't think he has the physical fortitude. Like, listen, like I said, I moved a whole bunch of heavy material early, and I'm telling you, if I had to do that all day, or if I had to do that, I had to take a break. I did it in 2 different phases because,
right,
you know, when you're not accustomed to doing heavy work is heavy work. You really know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're accustomed to it, it's just another day at the office.
Right.
And I'm an office kind of guy. I'm like a white collar worker, not a blue collar worker. And and so for me, I'd rather not fucking do it. And I don't. Right? So anyway, so translucent's gone. You know, it is what it is. But I you know, it'd be like I don't go on other people's streams and blow up their streams. As a matter of fact, when I had a problem with the other streamer that I mentioned, I went into CJ's chat and confronted CJ and confronted that streamer personally.
Yep.
I didn't go into someone's fucking live stream like yours or something to start attacking somebody.
No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. That's what I said at the beginning.
2 BKs, 2 MMs, 2 Jacks, 2 Jakes, and now we got 2 Willies. Willie. Well, they'll probably come back because they probably got multiple screen names, because I think it's hilarious that people have all these different screen names so they can go and troll people or go into streams that they're blocked from. And it's like that douchebag Jeff.
I'll be right back. Sorry, just keep going.
You know, it's interesting to me that people have, for whatever they've got, some need. If you're not wanted somewhere, why you would go there, it's just shocking to me. Maybe it's because back from when I was coming up through the fucking world, going somewhere meant going somewhere. And if you were not wanted there, you didn't go to avoid trouble, you see? But now that it's all virtual, I don't even know. It's just weird, man. Well, it's not that they don't have no life. They've got a life that's connected to the internet, which is, you know, it's a new way of living. You know, we're all a part of that to some extent. But like I said, back in the day, folks, going somewhere meant going somewhere. And if you were excluded from being in there or told not to come back or got your ass thrown out, you didn't go back. Right? And if you did, you had to make amends or come to some understanding with those that threw you out. I got thrown out of more than one nightclub. I actually got picked up by 2 bouncers and heaved through the air. They rolled me up like a fucking piece of a tree limb. Brought me up to their fucking chest and just fucking flung me. It's crazy. Kane B got a new keyboard. Translucent theories were a little out there. Well, there's a lot of people have all these theories of who did it. And I think that that's just a fucking exercise in idiocy. And I know a lot of you guys get into that. You like the fucking Pavarottis and the fucking the bubbly fucking jerk offs and, you know, the Tommy, I see the fucking moons. That's fine. If you can find entertainment through the slaughter of 4 young adults, you be you. I don't find it entertaining at all. Their Dago's back, but he's saying nothing.
Something.
He said something for some reason.
Something.
See, there we go. What do you think, Dago? Anything new that we should discuss that we've met that is important? Let's see here. So we do have.
That we already haven't discussed? No, nothing
I don't
new.
think so. I think everything is. That's interesting that the DoorDash video came up. It's a shame it took so long. Right? I mean, it is
well,
what it is.
that's like, yeah, that is kind of important. I mean, it's typical of what we've seen in this case from November of 2022. That everything plays its way, just like 2.5 years it took for all this other shit to come out. The DoorDash, it's just fallen in succession. Sarge, the 911 call comes out, the text messages come out. Now we have the DoorDash driver. What's coming next? What do you think? You want to make a lucky guess? I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, I wish something from the defense, like something from Cyray's analysis or something from his GPS would drop. You know, I mean, if anything, I'd like to see it come from the other side.
I would really, if they're gonna,
and I find it's extraordinary that people don't realize what you're seeing is just a defamation of somebody's character that they chose to charge this crime to.
Yep. And I wish the defense would leak the alternate suspects. I'd love to see that if we're gonna get leaks.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We could run rabbit holes on these alternative suspects.
100%.
But I think it's very telling when the state continually tries to destroy the person they've accused. And remember, this person is accused. He's done nothing in the eyes of what you're supposed to view him as.
That's right.
He's innocent.
That's right. And they've completely destroyed his character as a human being.
He's a monster. He's a fucking monster. He slaughtered 4 young adults. Right?
Yep.
He had a kill kit. He had a fucking air tube on his back. He had a vacuum cleaner on his back. He
dressed up like a fireman. He ran around naked. He did it all, Sarge.
He's an incel. He hates women. He doesn't know how to interact with women. And none of that stuff could be further from the truth.
Biff put out a good statement there. Do you all really think that if Molly McMichaels actually saw Brian and could identify him, that they would have left it out of the PCA? Absolutely not. That would have been one of the first things in the PCA. They'd have told us that 2 years ago.
It would have been in support of Dylan Morton's observations.
There's their bombshell, folks. But guess what? It's a little too late, and nobody's going to fucking believe it. So,
where's my banners? I got to get that back up there. Where is it?
You got to take down that Demon Dark thing first. But
yeah, let me get up in to the comments back here. Hide comment. What do you, Heather? Since you're the one that's got all these documents and do all that viewing of all of this stuff, can you poke a hole in my analysis that's scrolling across the bottom of that screen? Can the Heather Fitzgerald, the Biff of the world, make an argument to disqualify my observations and my conclusions about 4:17 a.m.? Come on, Biff, bring it.
That's another good point. Moonlit just said Molly didn't say bushy eyebrows, did she? No, she didn't.
No. What is the line to get muted in your chat? Because he didn't block you. Mike is mad at me and said he's coming back later. I don't know what you're talking about.
No idea.
What is the line to get muted in your chat? He didn't get muted. He got blocked. Is that translucent? Is that who you're talking about?
No, that's who they're talking about, I think. I don't know who Mike is. I guess that may be Translucent's name, what she's saying. He didn't block you. Mike is mad at me and said he's coming back later. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Kara, I don't know what. I have no idea.
Who's Mike? I don't know what she's talking about. I'm completely
I guess Mike is who Translucent is. I don't know.
Well, I blocked Translucent. If Translucent is Mike can't come back in because his mother's got to learn to handle cock a little better. Until then, he's out.
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but you know, this is your Michael. Oh,
Mike Cunt.
I knew that.
It's not Michael. It's Mike Hunt.
Excuse me.
Where did Biff go? Come on, Biff. Biff, you're the only one that can like try to contradict my analysis. Biff.
I wish Heather would join us on a panel and have a discussion. At least one. I would love that.
No, she likes the attention. That's why she does this stuff with panels. She just wants the attention of being asked. You know what I'm saying?
Is that true, Biff?
course it is.
I want to know where you came up with that name for her.
Biff
Yes.
from Porky.
Oh, damn it, Sarge! You're gonna make me want to watch it again. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna do it tonight. Mrs. Ballbreaker and meat.
She can't argue my point. Listen, folks. Wait, hold on. Hang on. Hold on. We got live from Your Ass Hurts News Network. We have breaking news. Heather Fitzgerald, Lucy Morningstar, also known as Biff, did not contradict Sergeant Friday's analysis that the crime started at 4:17 a.m. Dago?
Holy shit. Are you drunk or high or sleeping, Heather? What the hell? What do you mean you can't argue it?
It's an incredible moment here for Sergeant Friday, who I happen to know personally.
It truly is.
That's groundbreaking news. That's like Israel attacked Iran news. This shit is crazy.
That's absolutely.
Can you imagine Heather Fitzgerald not correcting somebody? Oh my God.
She's got a document in there for you, Sarge, I guess.
What's the document?
Does that prove it? I don't know which document it is. I can't read it. It's a link to the document. Which one is it, Heather? What does it say? Authentication of records PDF.
Can we
States
please
reply
talk
to the
about
defendant's
the
objection?
man's lack of proof of foreskin? What?
Did you pull it up on your side?
Come now, the state of Idaho, by and through the late talk prosecutor, the state seeks to rely on self-authenticating evidence as opposed to calling fundamental witnesses in the order to accomplish the same. It's understood that admissions would be contingent upon the state laying a proper foundation with a certificate or affidavit under blah, 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 and the requirements. It's also understood that admissions would be dependent upon the state showing the relevance of the evidence. Replying specifically to defendant's response. Linda Lane surveillance footage. Hard drive prevented. This footage is maintained. All right, so rather than me read this whole document to the office, Heather, why don't you just come up here and tell us the short story of it? Or since you're so like fucking microphone shy, you're like Alyssa Milano when it came to porn. The woman failed terribly on camera. So I don't know what she's like in bed other than she couldn't make it in a porn career. Can Heather Fitzgerald make it in a vocal career? That's where we're at with ours. There you go.
She can handle it.
She's saving herself for Dinky.
Oh, what?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me, Heather?
I think this is important.
You're kidding me. That's just mean. Wow. I've been asking you for how long? Sarge has asked you many a times. And nothing against Dinky. I love Dinky, but you can't. Wow. My feelings are truly hurt at this point.
Oh, this is a list of all the cameras they have and how they're going to claim self-authenticating and
my feelings
self-authenticating. Because not a single bit of that shows Brian Koberger driving Brian Koberger's car.
I asked you 2 years ago, Heather. Don't give me that shit because Dinky wasn't here then. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Sarge,
Tomboy made a point. Go sit in the corner there, Biff.
My feelings are hurt. I can't even. Shit.
Waiting on Dinky. Dinky's drunk more often than he's not, isn't he? Not that he's a bad guy, but I think Dinky's drunk an awful lot.
I don't think he drinks. I didn't know he drank. Dinky's a good dude. He's been through a lot lately too.
I'm not taking that as a chop at the guy.
Oh no, I know that.
I'm not chopping at him for that, but I'm saying I was under the impression a few times I heard him that he was drunk. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think he drinks or if he does, I don't know.
Maybe
he does. Yeah, I know he's from the UK, so he's got I can't remember where at, but he's got a hell of a slang to his accent.
Dinky is the first. No, listen, whatever. Who cares who asked you the first? You drama queen, you attention seeking Biff. Biff is one of those kinds of names that they're supposed to be guys that are good to look at, but empty in the head. Biff.
Uh-oh.
And she's proven to be kind of full in the head, but nothing to look at this point, as far as I can tell. Biff. Right? That's why I call her Biff. Huh?
She's smart. She's smart. She's a little too smart for me. In
Well,
my
what was the point of this document that you have? It's like 88,000 pages.
Send that to my email then. If is it in the documents, Heather, or is it a new one?
I
I want to look at it too.
I just closed it out.
No, not in here.
In
I
all
don't want to see it in here. I'm gonna send you for a ride on a flux capacitor. Oh my god. You're a fucking mess, Heather.
Wow.
You're a bad influence on her, Sarge.
Maybe we already did that, and that's why I came out so perfect. I made myself.
Oh my god.
Biff. That's more than you could say to explain your fucking hot mess of you. I made myself, ladies and gentlemen.
She hurt
That's
my feelings.
Fucking amazing. That's a miracle. Sir B put it in Discord. You know, it's funny. I can't see any of the emojis on the StreamYard aspect of it.
Make you SRB.
The DoorDash info, at least.
But
I'm not even sure if I was born. You could just be an algorithm in somebody's fucking Texas Instrument calculator.
It's this. Let me see what we're looking at. Yeah, we can't open this. Okay.
Ah, Biff. Back
There
to the
it is.
future.
Holy shit, that's big.
Yeah, it's the document. I mean, I don't know why she just doesn't give us the short of it. What is the document? Why'd you provide a document?
Search warrant. It's a search warrant and order authorizing the installation and/or use of a pen register, trap, and trace device, and non-disclosure order. This was filed. Oh shit! Hold on. This is the AT&T thing. Holy hell, Heather.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. This is self-authenticating evidence, according to the fucking court, or to the prosecution, right?
Yes, that's what it is.
But it is. It's showing a white car. I mean, why don't you show me pictures and videos of different colored cars and make it interesting? Why don't you make a rainbow for what is it, Pride Month that comes up sooner or later? Fucking cracker claws.
March 24th of
page 47. She said
47.
Page 47.
Okay, hang on. Let me go down the bottom here. Holy hell, this is the document's got everything in it. All right. Where the shit? Where is it?
Page 47.
Oh, there's a wow. I never saw that before. It's even got Brian's driver's license on it. Page 47. Which? Okay.
U.S. Highway Sousa. You were therefore commanded to further. There is probable cause to believe the use of a pen register. I'm scooting down to page 47 to see. I've got the document up now.
Did you pull it up?
47. I'm on 47 and it's redacted. It's fully redacted.
Oh, she's saying the DoorDash info. Okay.
That's the DoorDash info that's redacted.
Okay.
States Exhibit 5-9.
Where's the page even at on this, damn it? Page number. Hang on. Control F.
Melissa LaFarce. I don't know what this is.
There we go.
T-Mobile. Registered owners. Yeah. See, it's getting me dizzy. I don't just what is it? What is the point that she's trying to make? Just black squares. Yeah, that's what page 47 is. It's all redacted.
How did
the line that is not redacted.
Where did you find 47, Sarge? Because there's like, oh,
no,
wait
you
a
can
minute.
put it. Yeah, on the side, you can see it on the right hand side. You can see the page number.
Mm-hmm.
DoorDasher ID is what she's coming up with.
DoorDash ID.
Okay. Don't you think the crime happened earlier than 4? No, I don't think there's no evidence to support that other than streamers telling us that.
It's all blacked out.
Just so Paula, so you understand, Paula, the only documented factual proof of a crime occurring in that house is at 4:17 a.m. when a neighboring camera 50 feet approximately from Zaina's bedroom picked up what appears to be a struggle, a whimper, a thud, and a dog begins barking incessantly from 417 forward for about a half an hour. That's the only known evidence we have of a crime occurring in that home. And so that's why that statement is on my screen. It's an undisputable truth, what I'm showing there. And the only way that cannot be true.
I get it now, Sarge. Go ahead, finish what you're saying. I'll show you.
The only way that cannot be true is if there is some other kind of digital evidence prior to 4:17 a.m. And in further support of the 4:17 a.m. timeline, it's at 4:19 that Bethany Funk contacts Dylan for the first time, based on what they've given us. Therefore, the exculpatory evidence in possession of Bethany Funk is her response to the 4:17 commotions, to which she then texts Dylan. And so Bethany Funk's exculpatory evidence will also be, and probably will only be, what she heard that night, not what she saw. Okay? And that's the stand that this stream has taken. And it's the stand that I take because I'm the only streamer that's showing you actual evidence that this is the most likely truth. And Anne herself has already started this argument in the court itself. Okay? That's why that's why you see that on my screen. What is the point Lucy's been trying to make with this document? What am I missing?
Here, pull this up real quick. It's in the back. Because that translucent stated that they found that video because they found the DoorDash driver ID. Well,
where is it? Where is it?
There's the problem. The whole thing's blacked out. So if you found it, I don't know where you saw it at. That's the point. That's, I think, the point she's trying to make. That's all. Because it is completely redacted.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess there's
okay. So she's disputing the other person's claim.
Basically.
Okay. All right.
I still don't see, even if you blow this up.
Tomboy Charm says check Discord.
All right.
It is there, she says. Scroll down. Maybe it's in these things inside that's not covered.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it at the bottom? Yeah, right there. It says it, but it's not. It says dash your ID at the bottom down here.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull this over. Maybe you can see it. Okay.
Right.
It's hard to see, but okay.
All right, and that's where they got the dash ID from. It's from that document.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, she gave us the number. Does that translate to that girl?
I don't see how you could get that info with that number, though, because DoorDash is not going to hand out any information that way.
Yeah, what good is that number?
Right. I don't believe they would hand that out, truly.
Yeah, you can rotate that, and you can manipulate that document. It could be rotated and magnified, but let's just we got the number. Let's not fuck with the document. That's what she wanted us to see in the document. We got that covered, right?
Right there. So we're done with it. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
and
Tom
so
Boy.
is that info translatable to an ID of an individual?
Yeah, well, I mean, they could be, but I don't see them giving that number out to anybody. I don't see DoorDash giving that to anyone. That makes no sense to me.
Well, doesn't a DoorDash driver carry an ID that would give their identification?
They have an ID now. Each one of them has their own separate ID number that identifies them. But DoorDash, it's a professional service, Sarge. They're not going to go. You can't call in and go, I need to know who ID number 7754321 is. They're going to tell you, no, we can't give you that information. That's how that works.
Yeah, and why would they release the person's name to the public?
100%.
Yeah, okay. Listen, let me just say that I think this is going to be a lot like the Linda Lane video. And that everybody's going to go all over and all in with this, and this is going to be the story of the week and month and whatever, that this woman said she witnessed Brian. And
this is a little bit different in the fact that if they're going to claim that she saw him, and that could be detrimental in that sense, Sarge. But I don't believe that she did. That's just my opinion. It doesn't make sense. She claims that she was going by the car slowly and saw him in the car, and then also saw Xana or somebody in the second floor window all at the same time. And DoorDashers don't just like hang out and like check out their scenery. They deliver their thing and they leave because they usually have more to go. They're not just going to hang there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, is she the door? Is it her car? What? See, the other thing is, why don't people run her name? Does she have a vehicle? I mean, there looks to be like a vehicle traveling around that's lost.
That's the other side.
Not looking to go kill people, right?
Yeah. First off, it's thought that she may have been with somebody else. She's not supposed to have been out there driving for certain reasons. Blah blah blah. She was supposedly in a red car.
She can't be a door. Did she have a? Yeah. See, we don't know enough, and that's what I mean. It's speculation at this point. She's going to be a witness, but the level of her ability to testify to anything is going to be.
And that's the thing is like she couldn't have like they do like background checks and they do like ID driver's license checks and insurance checks and all this other stuff, but I don't think she had the ability to do that. In turn, somebody else would have been in the car. Had to have been. And
he was riding with somebody.
Yeah, and I don't know their laws, rules, or whatever, and it seems kind of outlandish to me. That's all.
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know, and Tandy made a good point. We noticed it in that video in the beginning of it. It's kind of strange because the video starts off at September 5th. I think it's 2:17 in the afternoon. And if you look at the video, it looks like the sun, like dusk, the sun's going down. And then it bounces from there to September 4th at 1900, some like 7 o'clock at night. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? It's crazy. The timestamps are changing up on that video and things are just weird. So I don't trust it fully. That's my opinion. Just like 95% of everything else we've seen, Sarge. There's something not right with it. You know what I mean? One more thing to add to the list. So,
well, the list is big.
It's real big.
And it's very confusing. Other than the facts that you're seeing come out from the actual proceedings, what they've allowed us to look at are not confusing. They tell a story, and that story is not favorable to the prosecution's fucking argument.
Right.
So it's quite exhausting.
This entire case has been that way. Here's my question, Sarge. When this is all said and done, if it ever is, and whoever did it or didn't do it or whatever's done it, what do you think is going to go on YouTube then?
Well,
that's a good
I don't
question.
know. People are going to have to move on to a new crime, right?
There'll never be anything else like this.
I'm not so sure that's true, right? What'd you say?
I told Charlotte have a good night. She said good night, everybody.
Oh, there you go, Thomas.
Does anybody in here imagine there'll ever be another case like this?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you can never say never. We live in a very fucking crazy time where where the information flows like crazy. I'm surprised that everybody is taking the Israeli attack on Iran so fucking nonchalantly. So it's weird what people react to. You know what I mean?
They just don't talk about politics on most channels. That's why.
Well, I don't even know if that's a war. I don't know if you're talking about politics. That's war, right? I guess war is politics. I don't know.
It's related to it, I guess.
My stock went up, but my point is it's not having any impact on the greater world at all. And I think that's because most of us realize they needed to be slapped down anyway for the shit they're doing with sponsoring terrorism, whether you agree with Israel or not, or you agree with that side or the other. It was time that they were put in their place, and they got the shit slapped out of them in no time at all.
Yeah,
it's kind of fuck. They talk all that mad shit. They got death to America, and Israel in one fucking fell swoop slapped the snot out of them. And I think all they've been able to do is throw a couple hundred missiles. I think Iran is out of fucking weapons, and their leaders have fled. It's crazy, Dago. I mean, the Israelis actually built a base in Iran.
Yeah.
They sent their agents in and they built a base for drones in Iran itself.
Right.
That's crazy. Imagine someone doing that here.
It is. What about allies?
What about what?
What about allies?
Israel's doing this independently of everybody, so they say.
So there's nobody helping them, huh? That's wild.
I don't think that that's entirely true, but I will say this, and this is something a lot of people missed. But I was caught off guard by this, and I thought how fucked up it was. And it only until Israel attacked Iran that I finally realized what Trump had done. But if people remember, he went to the Middle East and he came back with trillions of dollars of promised investments.
Yes.
Right? Boeing airplanes, the biggest order of planes ever sold by Boeing was just sold by Trump to Qatar or somebody, right?
Yep.
Take care, Paul. What else did he do while he was there? And a lot of people aren't really sure. But here's what he did do. He gave the Arab world requested that he lift the sanctions off from Syria and normalize relations with Syria. And he did that. And I'm telling you that we should have been a little more attentive. That is the role the United States plays in this attack on Iran, because it gave the Arab world a turn their head to Israel using their airspace. That's why Israel was able to do what they're doing so efficiently and so effectively. They may even have bases in Syria or Saudi Arabia, for all the fuck we know, where they're refueling these planes.
Right.
Because the aircraft itself cannot make a round trip from Israel to Iran and back. The fighter jets do not have that capacity. And when he removed the sanctions from Syria, it seemed like the most oddball thing to do in the midst of all that he was talking about with trade deals. Right. And everybody's not paid attention to that. And I guarantee you that it was, in fact, the lifting of the sanctions and the normalization of relations with Syria that convinced the Arabs to let Israel take Iran out. That's the untold story of what we're watching.
That's probably why, because most people don't have a clue nor understand how that all works. So in turn, they're not going to notice it.
Most Americans, even the defense experts that are supposed to be talking heads on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, none of them are even, none of it. This just happened a few weeks ago.
Right.
That should have also triggered Iran to be a bit more fearful of what might be coming, because they did have a 60-day time limit imposed by Trump to get rid of their nuclear weapons. And about a month ago, he was in the Arab world and he lifted sanctions on Syria. That should have been a fucking signal to Iran. Something's going on. Because we've had sanctions in that country since forever.
Yeah, right. That I do know. Yep.
And so for Trump to lift those sanctions unequivocally, without any fucking pretense, should have warned the world something was going on.
Well, that's what I've seen a lot of streams where they're political streams where they're talking about World War III. So there you go. I understand.
No, not even close. The funny thing is, just so people can relax, World War III is not going to be a result of this for two main reasons. One, all the air defenses in fucking Iran were Chinese, and they failed. Horribly failed. Two, Russia, the next military supplier to fucking Iran, is too embroiled in their own conflict with fucking
Ukraine.
Additionally, because Syria is the main ally of Syria is Russia, there's another fucking pull a rabbit out of your hat by Trump. By Trump normalizing relations with Syria, the West has will have more influence over how the direction that country takes than Russia, because Russia's embroiled in a conflict. It was like a double fucking slap.
Gotcha.
By lifting Syria from them sanctions, and now knowing that the Chinese equipment failed to protect the airspace of Iran, you now know the Chinese are a paper fucking tiger. And what you're seeing happen in Iran, the United States could easily do to China. We could easily do this to Russia if we wanted to. Let's hope we never have to. But there will be no World War III as a result of this. Okay. And hopefully all the leaders are fleeing, and the people in charge of all their military and their nuclear weapons program have been killed. Did you see they shot a missile into a guy's fucking apartment?
Yeah.
Into his bedroom?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude, that's fucked up. I don't want to ever be in the military and have my name on the end of a missile. Fuck you.
That would be that's definitely something you don't want to have to deal with. For sure.
But I do love being an observer of this stuff.
I mean, it's interesting to watch for sure. To see too. Well, you got nothing half-asses over here talking French or something to you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying. Maybe they're
On la peine, do what they see too. You got nothing half-asses over here talking French or something to you.
yeah, right. I think you're echoing.
I fixed it. Sorry.
Yeah, what's up there? Nothing half-assed. If it can't be said in English, you can't really come in here and talk. I mean,
Si j'étais un lapin du bateau,
is that French?
ton lapin du bateau. I think so. Language of Lerv.
What the fuck is Lerv?
Love. Is she asking you out on a date there, Sarge? What is that?
I don't know what the hell it is.
She's flirting
Well,
with
that's definitely half-asking something if you're asking a question.
Yeah.
That is half-assed, right?
I think I said it right, but I don't know what I said.
He's flirting with Lauren. Jesus Christ. My God. Well, there you go. It's been a hell of a night. And still not fast enough to hang up on himself. Yikes. I'm telling you, Dago would not have survived in the wild, wild west, folks. It's just poor Dago. He would have had to have been, I don't even know. You wouldn't want him to be a merchant because they get shot at a lot back then. Yikes. Well, it's pretty easy, Kara. It's pretty easy to speak your mind. Camera. I'll be in a short period of time here. I'll be doing a camera stream live. It'll be Sergeant Friday live, but live with video. And you know, I think people have been asking about that for long enough. Dago did his Irish goodbye. I assassinated Dago again. Sometimes that's the whole fun of the stream, right at the very end. Boom, bang, Biff. Where's Biff? Did Biff leave? Fucking Biff. Well, folks, it's been fun. I do have to travel tomorrow morning to a new job site. And Dago, you rock. I appreciate you accompanying me and then inviting the people that you invite. And for all of you that were here tonight, thank you for stopping in. And yeah, don't worry about World War III. I think it's pretty well in hand, but you know, if I'm wrong, it would be an epic fucking moment of being wrong. You told us we weren't all going to die in a nuclear fire. Oh, too fucking awesome. Anyway, be good, everyone. Or be bad. But if you're going to be bad, don't get caught.